Welcome to Korean Stars to Real Life Newlyweds. Today I would like to send you the A-listers Long and Yang Miemie. 9-year age gap love story finds its happy ending. It was July 10, 2025, a golden summer afternoon at the edge of West Lake in Hangzhou. The lakeside path had been transformed into a living fairy tale, a crimson carpet of fresh roses underfoot, their fragrance mingling with the warm breeze off the water as Long stepped forward. His movements were both deliberate and unguarded. Dropping to one knee, the crisp folds of his white shirt bore the faint marks of summer's heat, subtle creases, a trace of sweat. It was an unvarnished, human detail in the middle of a cinematic moment, reminding everyone that this was no scripted drama, but a chapter of real life. The bride-to-be, Yang Miemie, stood with sunlight catching the edge of her veil, her eyes shimmering with the same charm that had captured audiences on countless screens. The 9-year age gap between them, once a topic of gossip and speculation, now felt like nothing more than background noise against the quiet certainty in their smiles. For years, they had been fixtures of the short drama world, their on-screen chemistry sending ratings soaring, their names a reliable magnet for trending topics. Today, all that professional polish melted away into something raw and deeper as the crowd held its breath. Long spoke words meant for her alone. In that moment, the distinction between co-star and life partner dissolved. The applause that followed wasn't for celebrities, it was for two people who had finally, after years in the spotlight, chosen each other for life. Yang Miemie's baseball cap dipped low, shielding tear-brimmed eyes, but nothing could muffle the words that pierced through 5 long years. In that instant, the internet erupted. Hashtags exploded across trending lists, timelines flooded with clips and screenshots. For the first time in the history of short dramas, a virtual CP, once a carefully curated on-screen pairing, had carried their chemistry beyond the frame, sealing it with a real marriage certificate. In what had started a scripted romance, meticulously crafted for audiences, now stood in living proof before millions. The lines between fiction and reality could blur, and sometimes, they could dissolve entirely. The disarming power of the schoolgirl charm. Yang Miemie's greatest weapon is authenticity. Not the kind that comes from rehearsed performances or polished acting, but the kind that's embedded in her very bones, an unshakable childlike spirit. On set, she steals Long's spring rolls, cheeks puffed up like a chipmunk caught mid-snack. High heels. Her sworn enemy, a torture device she'd gladly banish forever during live streams. When fans tease her about her height, she doesn't miss a beat, lips pouting as she fires back, "I'm 162. It's just that he's 193 and built like a tower." It's this unfiltered honesty, equal parts playful and sincere, that makes her impossible to resist. She isn't playing the schoolgirl role, she is the girl who'll laugh, sulk, snack, and sass without worrying how it'll look on camera. And that, more than any script, is why her charm lands like a direct hit. The audience drowns in the details. Viewers are swept away by these tiny moments, the trembling lashes of the mute girl riding in Masterkin's little mute and the puffed cheeks biting into a spring roll in real life. They're not just similar, they're the same person. Most style leading lady? Not quite. She tears the label to shreds, refusing to let a script dictate her soul. The gentleman's trap. Long's gentleness is a snare disguised as kindness, slow, calculated, precise. He doesn't rush to pursuit, he lays it out in careful increments, each glance and pause pulling you one step deeper, until you realize you've been caught, not by force, but by the quiet inevitability of him. 5 years, 10+ dramas from ICCEO to tender campus heartthrob, Long has played them all on set. Her coffee always arrives with exactly 3 ice cubes. During surprise live-stream raids, he shields the camera from her stray slices of pork. He slips them into her bowl. Eat slowly has become less a reminder than his personal refrain, the most devastating move. In February 2025, when they were spotted on a date, he flipped the narrative with numbers. "My Miemie is 162, I'm the one committing the crime of making her look short." The romance of a mature man. For Long, romance isn't a bouquet of roses, it's turning a height difference into a shield. He stands like a quiet fortress, letting Yang Miemie's world feel safer simply because he's there. The short drama CP revolution has shattered one of the industry's unspoken rules. While long drama on-screen couples scramble to publicly unpair for fear of fan backlash, the micro-drama scene is busy distilling synthetic sugar into something that tastes dangerously real. It's heartbeat derailment. Breath overlapping what the audiences crave. 5 minutes of total possession, the kind of scene that leaves you convinced they're in love, even when you know they might delete each other's WeChat as soon as the camera's cut. And yet, you'll still lose your mind over a muffled audio clip of 2 people breathing in the backseat of a car. But Yang Miemie Long? They play the game sharper. A sudden pause in a live stream. an accidental slip in an interview revealing her iced coffee secret. They turn intimacy into a jigsaw puzzle, one that fans can't resist piecing together, even if the picture is never officially confirmed. That's the 5th time they've worn the same sweatshirt. Is it a shared wardrobe or are they living together? Every breadcrumb feels deliberate, every clue a spark. The line between calculated marketing and genuine chemistry blurs until no one, not even the two of them, can quite tell where the act ends and reality begins. In the short drama world, that's not just entertainment. It's warfare, and you Long and Yang Miemie are playing to win when digital adrenaline fades even after the rush of electronic adrenaline wears off. Their proposal photos hide a quiet metaphor. In the reflection of Yang Miemie's glasses, you can see the glowing sign, Yang Miemie, will you marry me? It could be mistaken for a scene from a short drama set, but this time, there's no director to yell cut. What modern audiences crave is precisely this kind of reality that is both controlled and out of control. Knowing the older man will remember to add ice to your coffee, yet also accepting that his polo shirt carries the same familiar creases as your father's in an atomized society, they have become a cyber-age model of romance, a love story that merges the fantasy of a 5-minute microdrama with the authenticity of a 5-year marathon. Short dramas are designed to create dreams in minutes, giving viewers an intense hit of escapism. But here, the dream didn't dissolve when the scene ended, it carried over into real life, stitched together by years of shared moments, small habits, and a quiet, mutual understanding. They've turned the line between performance and reality into something porous, letting the audience step through and believe, if only for a moment, that the sweetness on screen can survive the off-screen air. This is no longer just entertainment. It's a live experiment in modern love, broadcast in real time, proof that even in a fragmented, hyper-connected world, people still long for stories that start like fiction but end in something undeniably real. The new drama Come to Me is just straight filming. This time, they're playing a campus couple. 33-year-old Yu Long slips into a school uniform as if time had folded in on itself, while 24-year-old Yang Miemie bites the end of her pen, smiling with absent-minded innocence before the director even calls action. Yu Long leans in without thinking, brushing away a smudge of milk tea at the corner of her lips. It's not in the script. It doesn't need to be. Some gestures carry their own dialogue, one that says more than any line could. Thank you for watching my channel. See you in the next videos. Thanks.